My landlord kept entering my apartment illegally, so I made sure his wife knew where he really spent his time. Mr. Peterson was the kind of landlord who thought renting you an apartment meant owning access to your life. It started with emergency inspections that happened suspiciously often when I was at work. I'd come home to find things slightly moved, my mail opened, personal items clearly handled. When I installed security cameras, the real pattern became clear. Peterson was entering my apartment 3 times a week, going through my closet, reading my journals, even sniffing my laundry. The footage was disturbing enough to make my skin crawl, but confronting him directly was useless. Landlord rights, he'd claim. Maintenance concerns. Bull was some legal-sounding excuse, while his eyes lingered too long on my personal belongings. The breaking point came when I found him in my bedroom at 2 a.m., claiming he'd heard water running and needed to check for leaks. I was supposed to be out of town for work, but my flight had been canceled. Peterson stood frozen by my dresser, clearly going through my underwear drawer with no tools or legitimate reason for being there. Just checking the pipes, he stammered, but we both knew exactly what he was really checking. That's when I noticed the wedding ring on his finger and remembered meeting his wife Carol at the lease signing. Sweet woman, probably had no idea her husband was a creep. I decided she deserved to know the truth. I spent 2 weeks documenting everything, every illegal entry, every violated boundary, every disgusting invasion of privacy. The security footage painted a clear picture of a man with serious problems. Then I got creative. I created a fake dating profile using Peterson's photos from the building's website, making him appear to be cheating on his wife with multiple tenants, added details about his apartment access and how he loved getting to know his female renters personally. I made it look like he was bragging about using his master key for inappropriate purposes. Then I anonymously sent prints to Carol along with all my security footage, claiming to be a concerned friend who discovered her husband's online activities. The message was simple. I found your husband on this dating app. Thought you should know what he's been up to with his tenants. I could hear the screaming through my ceiling as she confronted him about the fake profile, demanding to know why he was advertising himself as available and making inappropriate comments about accessing tenant spaces. Peterson's panic denials only made it worse when Carol demanded to see the security footage I'd mentioned. That's when she discovered the real problem wasn't a fake dating profile, minus it was her husband's actual behavior. Watching her husband systematically violate a female tenant's privacy was apparently the last straw, and what I learned was an already troubled marriage. Carol filed for divorce the next day and reported Peterson to the police for illegal entry and harassment. The building management company terminated his employment after the criminal complaints became public record. Peterson tried to evict me in retaliation, but the illegal entry documentation made that legally impossible. Instead, I was offered a settlement and a rent-controlled lease for life. His replacement is a professional property management company that actually follows tenant rights laws. Peterson lost his job, his marriage, his reputation, and the building he'd managed for 15 years last. I heard he was renting a studio apartment across town and working night security at a warehouse. Meanwhile, I finally have privacy in my own home. Sometimes the best way to stop a predator is to make sure the people who matter most know exactly what kind of person they're protecting. Carol deserved better than a husband who violated women's homes for his own sick pleasure, and Peterson deserved exactly what he got.